During your walk from Najaf to Karbala, step by step, people are offering you tea. You will not find the taste of this tea anywhere else in the world. It is the color of devotion and the sweet taste of the love of Sayyid al-Shuhada, the master of the martyrs, Imam Hussain, peace be upon him. The eyes of the hosts are begging for you to stop and take a rest. It seems like the smile of each visitor gives them more energy. It is days that they are standing beside the fire of the devotion of Hussein alayhi salam and are brewing this tea of love.
Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. Alhamdulillahi Rabbil Alameen. Welcome to the program Labbaik Ya Hussein. When a visitor of Imam Hussein alayhi salam, he is walking towards the shrine of Imam Hussein. And as you know, currently this walking has started, and some are walking from very far distances. Some have started from Najaf, the holy city. Some have started from other cities. And when they reach the shrine of Imam Hussein alayhi salam, there is a ziyarat text for us to mention there, and that is the ziyarat of Arba'een. This ziyarat, which comes from Imam Sadiq alayhi salam, our sixth Imam, it has many lessons for us to learn. One of the questions and things that this ziyarat teaches us is that it teaches us, why did Imam Hussein alayhi salam revolt? Why did he uprise? And this has been a topic that many authors have tried to answer. We will inshallah try to answer this question from this ziyarat and learn this lesson from the ziyarat Arba'een. And first of all, we need to know that we don't claim to know everything about the Ahlul Bayt alayhimus salam, that the family of the Prophet and the Imams, their movements and their harakats and the things that they did was according to the will of God. And we, as people that our knowledge is less than our ignorance, or ignorance is more than the knowledge that we have, we cannot claim to know 100% of the actual intention of Imam Hussein alayhi salam. But we can refer to these ziyarats to give us a better understanding. Second of all, we cannot say that Imam Hussein alayhi salam was more revolutionary than the other Imams. If the other Imams were placed in the exact same circumstances of Imam Hussein, exact same time period of Imam Hussein, they would have done the same exact thing. As if all the Imams are one person, but they have done actions and they have decided to live their lives in a certain manner according to the circumstances that existed. Therefore, we should not say that this is something that came from Imam Hussein alayhi salam's characteristics, that actually this was his duty, this was his test that Allah chose to give him, and the Imams, if they're in the same circumstances, would have done the same thing. So why did Imam Hussein alayhi salam revolt? We learn from Ziyarat Arba'een. We say, وَبَذَلَ مُهْجَتَهُ فِيكِ, and sacrificed his soul for you. Imam Hussein sacrificed everything he had for you, Allah, his children, his soul, everything that he had, his dear companions. لِيَسْتَنْقِذَ عِبَادَكَ مِنَ الْجَهَالَةِ, to save your servants from ignorance. وَحَيْرَةِ ضَلَالَةِ, and the confusion of misguidance. So we have an apparent answer that Imam Hussein alayhi salam decided and was tested with uprising and sacrificing his soul to save us from ignorance and to save us from confusion of misguidance. What happened before Imam Hussein alayhi salam decided to uprise? we see that after the Prophet of Islam was martyred, after he passed away, we see a very dark time period in history, in Islamic history. We say that Amir al-Mu'mineen alayhi salam was taken away from power, was taken away from what was his right to rule. We see that there is a prohibition of narrations being transcribed or recorded or compiled. So we had a long time period where the government would not allow the hadith or the sayings of the Holy Prophet to be shared. So much so that when this ban happened, that they would only allow the Quran or only allow certain hadith or certain narrations to be taught, people began to even forget exactly how the Holy Prophet of Islam prayed. So Imam Hussain alayhi salam, he rose up to awaken people so that they can go back to the path of the Ahlul Bayt, because of the Ahlul Bayt alayhi salam, the family of the Holy Prophet, they are the ones that will give life again to Islam. An Islam that was killed, an Islam that only its name and only the titles remained. When you look at one of the stories, this is in Sahih Bukhari, that when Anas ibn Malik was going to Damascus, and it says that Az-Zuhri saw Anas ibn Malik weeping, and he asks him, "Why are you crying?" And he says, فَقَالَ لَا أَعْرِفُ شَيْئًا مِمَّا أَدْرَكْتُ إِلَّا هَذِهِ الصَّلَاةِ. I did not know anything which I used to know during the lifetime of the Holy Prophet's life except this salat. وَهَذِهِ الصَّلَاةِ قَدْ ضَيَّعَتْ. Nothing was more clear to us than salat, and this salat has been ruined. So because of the ban on the hadith, the ban of the traditions, the Muslimin even forgot how to pray correctly. They forgot the prayer of the Holy Prophet. When we look at other traditions in Bukhari, it's very interesting. It says when Imam Ali alayhi salam prayed and people saw him praying, it says again in another hadith in Bukhari, فَقَالَ قَدْ ذَكَّرَنِي هَذَا الصَّلَاةُ مُحَمَّدْ صَلَّى اللَّهُ عَلَيْهِ وَسَلَّمَ. When Imam prayed and he did takbiratul ihram or he did raf'ul yadayn, he would bring his hands up after the takbirs, after Allahu Akbar and salat. The narrator, he would say, "You made me remember the salat of Prophet Muhammad." Meaning that the Ahlul Bayt, they gave life and they revived Islam. And that Imam Hussain alayhi salam, he rose up because only the names of Islam, only the titles and a few practices of Islam were left. So he was forced to, it was a dead end, he was forced to fight against such a corrupt government, the corrupt government of Yazid, of the Umayyads, that were banning and not allowing the official traditions and the correct traditions of the Holy Prophet to be taught, and therefore people were forgetting even how to pray, were forgetting how to do Hajj. And it was a wake-up call for the Muslims, for the Ummah, for the nation of Islam, to remember that they have to go back to the family of the Holy Prophet, and that is where they can seek guidance in the teachings and the explanations of the Holy Quran and the sayings of the Holy Prophet. وصلى الله على سيدنا محمد وأهل بيته الطيبين الطاهرين.